Welcome to the stream, everyone. Tonight we have a special guest. This is Andy Schatz, lead developer on the new heist co-op, Pac-Man, whatever you want to call it game, Monaco. What's yours is mine. So everyone, welcome to the stream, Andy Schatz.
Hello, KY.
Hello, Andy. How are you?
I am good. I'm finally decompressing after this crazy-ass launch. And yeah, you had the other Andy yesterday, Andy Wynn, who's not here right now. This is Andy Schatz. I'm the guy who started. Well, I designed this game back in 2003, and now here it is. I've been working on it for about 3.5 years.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been extremely highly anticipated. I mean I remember first hearing about this game years ago, and I was like, that's a cool game, because I remember playing Payday fairly recently, maybe within the last year with some friends. And I was like, this is cool, but we need a heist game. Like, to me, Payday was more about, shooting people in the face.
I'll tell you what, and this is gonna make me sound like such a snot, but and such a hipster here, but I made this game. I started working on it in 2009, and then it won the IGF in 2010, and back then it was like no one had made a heist game in like 20 years, and none of them were ever really any good.
Like the ones that purportedly were heist games. None of them were any good.
And then Payday comes out, and then you get like Hotline Miami, which is awesome. It comes out. I actually like both of those games. And then there's an iOS game called what is it? It's Helsing's Fire that has the same lighting and visual mechanic and all that. And it's like all the stuff that Monaco was doing that was really cool in those early days, all got done by someone else. So I'm super psyched that people are responding so well to Monaco now, and I'm not sad I took that long, but it is definitely like, if you take that long, other people are going to do the things that you're doing before you manage to get your game out, and that's going to suck.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer when you think about it. It's amazing that of all the concepts you could base a game around, it's amazing that no one really thought to do it with a heist until recent years. Isn't that crazy?
I know. Yeah, it is, and especially because like co-op has now been big since like the first Halo. I think that was kind of when co-op really took off in sort of the modern era. So you'd think, I mean, heist movies are huge.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I've never seen, for example, Reservoir Dogs, and it's supposed to be
You've never seen Reservoir Dogs? Are you serious?
Not yet. I mean, I'm going to be watching it. I meant to watch it last night, and then stuff came up. So maybe tonight after the interview, I'll do that.
The general concept of it is basically that it's like, it's not the heist. It's the whole movie is basically what happens after the heist.
Okay.
It's not a heist movie, even though it is a heist movie. Because it's all the heist characters, except it's like basically what happens after the heist.
Yeah, I mean, and while we're on the topic of heists, and then we'll get more into the actual design of the game, but what's your favorite heist movie or book or heist story?
I don't have. Okay, so here's the thing. Heist movie or heist stories in general, the true ones are often as amazing or even more unbelievable than the fake ones. So like a lot of my favorite heist movies are actually just based on true stories. There's a movie called Stander that's really good. It's about a South African cop that, like, during these apartheid riots, realized that all of the cops were in the black neighborhoods, and none of the cops were in the like rich white neighborhoods. And he realized he could just like walk into banks and rob them and take the money, because there was literally no cops around. And so he ends up robbing like 15 banks before he gets caught.
Wow.
And it's a great movie. It's really cool. The bank job with what's his name, Jason Statham. I think
yeah, I've heard of that one.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is awesome if you turn the subtitles on, because those accents, man. I really like Out of Sight, which is a Soderbergh movie, and it's much better than all the Ocean's remakes, which I actually really don't like. But Out of Sight's got J-Lo and George Clooney in it, and it's definitely J-Lo's best movie.
If you can speak of it in a positive light, then it's got to be one of her best movies.
It's good. And Confidence is mostly con men, but it's really heisty, and it definitely provided a lot of inspiration for Monaco. And then The Good Thief is also really good, and a lot of the characters in The Good Thief are provided inspiration. There's a transsexual bodybuilder that's a tunneling expert that's afraid of spiders, and like that's an awesome character, and it definitely is like partially the basis for the mole.
Yeah, I was gonna say the mole right there.
Yeah, yeah, and in fact, the pickpocket is kind of partially inspired in that movie. There's a pair of twins that basically use the fact that they're identical twins to steal stuff, and that's kind of the source inspiration for the pickpocket and Hector.
Awesome. Yeah. And while we're on the topic of the mole, who's I think a lot of people's favorite thief. Like it seems like a lot of people go towards the mole and the really, I guess, the really exaggerated characters like Mole and the Hacker and things like that. But with the mole, the first thing I thought of, I don't know if you've played this game. Have you played a game called Ghost Trick?
Ghost Trick? No. Oh, and by the way, there's I think I said transsexual. I should have said transgendered, which I believe is different. I don't know my terms very well. But yeah, anyways. No, I haven't played that game. What is it?
There's a character in Ghost Trick who tunnels he's like this really huge, fat, dumb guy who tunnels his way out of a prison with a spoon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, and then when I was playing Monaco for the first time and the mole shows up and he talks about his freedom spoon, I was like, oh shit, it's Ghost Trick. So... that was the first thing I thought of. It's from the same guys who made Phoenix, right?
You know what's so funny? I just watched the Disney version, the Disney Atlantis movie, just like 2 weeks ago, and that one has a short, fat, tunneling expert French guy named the Mole.
There you go.
And then, like, I hadn't seen that. I have seen the South Park movie, which has a character in it named Zimole.
Yeah.
And I think I know that I'd forgotten about him, but I'm sure that name was in the back of my subconscious somewhere. It's crazy how these things. It's so hard to not accidentally, steal or copy, because we're also steeped in pop culture that it's just like that's all of our source material. So
yeah. All right. Well, let's talk a bit more about the background of the game. So Monaco was one of the first games funded through Indie Fund, correct?
Yeah, I think it was the first one that they signed officially. Yeah.
Okay, so like they had others in mind, but Monaco was the first. So it's kind of funny because there have been a couple of others that have come out since then, but I guess Monaco has taken the longest to develop.
Yeah. Let's see. The ones that they had, Shadow Physics was in development. It got canceled. I think that was their big failure. Monaco, and then what else?
There's Antechamber, which came out recently.
Right, Antechamber was funded. Dear Esther.
Yeah.
There've been a couple others. I know that. What is that one where you fly around with the stars? It's an iOS thing. Shoot, I don't remember. Yeah. Anyways, they're doing. I think they're doing quite well, and it's interesting to see them sort of refine their process. And it's interesting because it definitely at times feels like a grant type thing, but then you realize, no, they're making some good money on this stuff.
Wait, so for those that don't know in the chat, Indie Fund is essentially a group of, I guess, time-tested or quality-tested developers, including Jonathan Blow, I think Genova Chen, maybe?
No, but Kelly Santiago.
Okay.
Who was the CEO of that game company.
That game company who worked on Journey. So a number of people, they choose games with outstanding concepts and essentially fund them with like a repayment program and stuff like that. So it's a bit different from Kickstarter in the sense that Kickstarter is entirely like fan or consumer funded. Right.
Kickstarter is crowdfunded, and this is definitely more of an investment or a loan model. I think there's 6-7 of them on the fund, and they each have basically they give you some set amount, but with no it was really cool for me because I took a total of $100,000 from them over the past 3.5 years, and they're all really good game developers, so I could lean on them for advice on things.
Right,
and that's fantastic. But they also they aren't publishers. They don't want to be a publisher. So, in fact, the whole point of why they started Indie Fund is because they felt like the original sort of publisher-developer model was broken. Mm-hmm. This is before Kickstarter was around, and they wanted to try and break the publisher-developer model because the old way, the way things used to go, is that the publisher would fund the developer, and then they would have to recoup the amount that they funded the developer out of the royalties, and the developer almost never actually saw royalties because it was almost always going to the recoup.
Right.
And so at the end, like after the game comes out, the developer's sitting there and they're like, we don't have any money left because like we're waiting to see if the game recoups, and most likely it's not going to, and so they have to scramble to get another deal with another publisher, and they fall back right into that cycle where the publisher starts funding them, and then same old thing. And eventually you have one, you have one hiccup and you can't get funding, and that's it, and you got a business.
It made me think it'd be very interesting if someone took a producer scheme, like, the movie The Producers.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and they actually, like, they took a whole bunch of funding from a publisher
Yeah.
and then just made an abysmal game with no funding and just, like, went off to, like, Monaco or something with the money.
It's called Duke Nukem Forever. Is that what you're talking about?
There you go. But yeah, I mean, and Indie Fund is kind of the opposite of that, where it's very easy to, or they have a plan so that even if the game fails, you're not stuck in like this spiral debt or something with the developer or with the
Right.
publisher. You're not basically SOL.
Indie Fund is basically a no-risk loan, meaning if you don't ever pay them back, then you don't owe them anything. But then when after you do pay them back, then they get a small percentage. So Indie Fund gets 10% of Monaco because for every $10,000 you borrow, then they take 1%.
Right.
For the first 2 years, I think, after the game comes out. So yeah, they get $100,000 off the top, and then they get 10% after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's cool. We've already paid them back, so
Well, that was quick.
yeah.
It's kind of funny, like the risks they've been taking. I mean, they've been choosing the right games, and it's funny how people try to discredit, I guess, people like John Blow because he only has one major game out. But I mean, he's proving consistently that he knows what it takes to make a good game when he's making choices like to fund Monaco and to fund Antichamber, and they're just huge hits.
He's one of the most deliberate people I know in terms of like every decision he makes and every word that comes out of his mouth is deliberately chosen.
Yeah.
He certainly can have he can come across as maybe a little too confident because of that, because he is actually considering every word, or maybe even a little abrasive, but he's also a really charming, sweet guy, he's just a really unique individual.
Yeah, I think you put it exactly right. Like, I would also say he's just deliberate from what I could tell, like, from interviews and stuff. Like, when we interviewed Edmund McMillan, we asked about John Blow because, John Blow always gets brought up and stuff like this,
Sure.
one way or another. But Edmund said that despite his, I guess, the way people interpret him as being abrasive, he's, like, the nicest dude. Like, seriously, totally down to earth and nice. So hopefully I'll get to talk to him myself someday.
Yeah, he's got a game coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. All right, so back to Monaco. One thing I wanted to touch on, and then we'll probably play a round or two of the game, because there are probably people watching tonight who've never even heard of this game, believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, like, there are people in Vine's house. So let's talk a little bit about character balance, because I know that I was reading the article you posted on Facebook that mentioned that balance is not a huge concern, like in that it's not about trying to make every single character equally viable, because that would be a pretty boring game, but it's more about the different play styles.
Yeah, I think that it's the game is with Monaco, at least, the game is much more fun if the characters are more different rather than less different. If you made them all just like barely different from one another in order to make sure that they all are equally powerful in every level, you would make it a lot less fun. So what we focused on mainly is player styles. We really wanted to make a character for every different type of gamer out there, and make someone that they could not only identify with as a character in terms of their narrative, but also their play style. So like the Lookout I built originally for my wife. It was originally the Prowler, and she's parkour and stuff, and she was really good at escaping from guards originally. But my wife is also is super nervous about, anxious while she plays a game. So that's where the Lookout thing came in. So she can see guards through walls. But then also she's faster at getting into staircases and getting into nets. So she's really good at escaping into those types of places. And then the hacker can get a whole bunch of viruses that follow him around. So he's kind of like a pet class. He's actually like a warlock
That's
class.
kind of how I thought too. Like, I
Hmm.
didn't imagine him like that until I actually got to control the hacker, and then I was like, oh, all these little viruses, because the viruses will actually track you. They'll go to the most
Right.
relevant
'Cause
nearby electronic. They won't just scatter randomly.
you kind of have to learn their behavior because it's not like, I mean, it is a determinative behavior, but at the
Hmm.
same time, it's something where you have to sort of learn to manage them in the same way that you have to learn to manage your pets.
Right.
And also just from a narrative perspective, people really like the idea of being a hacker. And I think part of it's because we're all computer nerds, right? Um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I think there's something about that narrative of being the warlock is that it feels the same as the narrative of being a hacker. I'm not sure what it is, but it's similar.
It's the
Um,
pets, like you said. I mean, the viruses really feel like just a bunch of pets that follow you around, and
yeah.
it's like a support class, really.
Yeah, yeah, and then like the gentleman who disguises himself is definitely for the people that prefer to play it a little more stealthy and play it like a stealth game and never be
Hmm.
seen. And then
Or
uh,
rather, being seen but not detected.
yeah, exactly. And then like the locksmith is definitely more of like the paladin, the all around sort of brute forcey uh, guy that he's like the tank.
Or the bread and butter.
Yeah, the bread and butter, and he's simple. You don't have to think about his ability; it just kind of does its thing.
Yeah, because I
Uh,
mean, the ability to just get through doors quick, to open safes quick, all that stuff is just
right.
hugely beneficial just to the core mechanic of getting to the right place at the right time. Because really, so much of the game mechanic is purely based on just location,
Yep.
like where your character is standing. It's what it boils down to. There isn't a huge core mechanic like there's aiming. And there's using items, but for the most part, it's just character proximity, like where the character is at any given time in relation to the guards and the things around him.
And I think that the fun one for me actually in terms of player type is the mole because there tends to be a very specific player type that plays the mole. They're basically the troublemaker that like that they are definitely typically the Leroy Jenkins that just want to just like fuck shit up and the cleaner is definitely more of a rogue in that like you have to be sneaky in order to play the cleaner well.
Hmm.
And I think maybe people misread him at the start. They think they can just go around and beat up guards, and he's not a beat up class. He's definitely a sneaky class.
Yeah, very sneaky.
But the mole is the opposite. The mole is just like busting down everything, and is just a troublemaker. He's the Leroy Jenkins. He's the troll. Like people,
Yeah.
trolls love to play the mole.
Exactly, and it's not only that, but it's amusing, but it's also appropriate, and I would almost say like it's necessary. It's necessary to have a troublemaker class because otherwise the whole rise and fall dynamic that you're going for with Monaco just wouldn't function.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the redhead's an interesting one because the redhead, most people probably don't understand the redhead. We get a lot of questions and people saying she's not useful, and she's actually probably the most powerful individual class in the game, but she also requires a lot of understanding of her nuances and a lot of management of she's sort of the high skill, high reward character, but it is easy to screw up with her.
Hmm.
She's great in co-op and she's great in single player. I won't spoil sort of the nuances of how to play her really well.
Yeah, because a big
she's-
part of Monaco is just discovering what you can and can't do, or how having different things in your possession, such as a seduction target as a redhead, actually affects how you interact with various things. It's part of, I guess, the magic.
Right.
All right, but here's a question about character balance. Was there
Sure.
ever a point where character imbalance was enough to override personal playstyle? Like, was there ever a point where one character was just so much more viable than other characters that even though people didn't prefer that character's playstyle, they just had to use them anyway?
Yeah, it's interesting when you're dealing with. I mean, we did want them to be balanced in a sense of we didn't. You don't want it to be where people literally just don't use a character. We don't want it to be where someone's attracted to the narrative of a character but never plays them because the character sucks because the character's never useful.
Right.
So that's definitely true. It's interesting, for those of you that have played BioShock Infinite, without spoiling things, the concept of constants and variables, right? In when you're dealing with character design, there are some things that are constants and there are some things that are variables, right? A variable, for instance, is how long does it take? How long does the gentleman have to remain hidden in order for his disguise to recharge? Which
Hmm.
and his disguise is basically kind of like a halo shield, where like when you're out of battle, essentially, or when you're not being seen, it recharges, and then it sort of absorbs aggro in the same way that your shield and halo absorbs damage.
Hmm.
And then when it runs out, then people actually start aggroing towards you, and they can actually see you.
Right.
And then if he's hidden, if he gets out of battle, then his disguise comes back. So that's a variable. How long does he have to stand in a hidden position in order for his disguise to come back? Or
alternatively, just how effective his disguise is when he is being seen. How many
Right.
bars does it take? Like right now, it's currently 6, as
Right.
opposed to a standard disguise is what, like 20 or so.
20 or 24. Yeah, yeah. I think it's 3 times, maybe 18.
I mean, I
20.
could imagine during playtesting it was probably originally somewhere more like 12, like maybe half as many, because that's like a good number to originally guess, and then you just realize he can get away with everything. Even at 6, he seems a little bit overpowered, at least based on first impression.
I buffed him at the last minute. I think he might be a little buff. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but he's the one thing well, I'll get back to that in a second because we balanced for different things. And no, but some of the constants are things like the lookout. So the lookout can see all the guards on the map. And we treat that essentially like a constant. It's not that she can see people within a certain range, but when she stands still or if she's sneaking or like walking half speed, then she sees all the guards on the map. And that's just kind of how it is. And sure, we could sort of introduce a variable into that concept. If we thought that was too buff, we could make it so she has to stand still for a certain amount of time to see them or something like that. But by itself, that's just a constant. And so her power, everyone kind of has to be based around the strength of that power. A couple other constants that there are certain things that we sort of had to ended up treating like variables because the constants were by themselves imbalanced. Like for a long time, the moles digging didn't aggro guards at all, and then we tried making it so that someone every time he dug a hole, a guard would come investigate, and that made it so that
impossible.
He was just making a mess every single.
That and a lot of times you can't just do. I mean, there are times when you just want to connect 2 rooms and it's just one hole and that's it. Right. I could see that being okay, but sometimes you do need a long tunnel, like you want to take the long way around.
So he would like dig a hole and then have to go and hide, and that made it so it actually dissuaded people from using his ability. And then we tried it where it would like create a little aggro bump. But we found that also is a little less fun too. So what we did is we just made it so that when he digs, anyone who can see the tile that he was digging to will turn and look without any sort of actual sort of.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what it was exactly because my hypothesis was that if they're close enough, then they can hear it.
It's not a distance thing; it's just a line of sight thing. Like if they can see that tile, they'll turn and look.
That's very useful to know.
So basically, if you can see them, they'll be able to see you.
Right.
So, that was really important because we tried it where it's actually not. I don't think it's if they can see the tile that you're digging, but if they can see the tile that you are digging from. And the reason that's important is if there's a 1 tile wall and there's a guard on the other side of it. The mole doesn't know that the guard on the other side of it's there, so it's not really fair that like he digs this tile and then the guy on the other side of the wall would turn around and look at him.
Right.
So that's again another thing that would dissuade the mole from using his ability if there could potentially be guards on the other side of the wall that are going to see him use it. Whereas right now you know exactly if a guard is going to turn and look at you because if you can see them, then they can see you. So yeah, those are the kinds of constants that you end up having to build variables around in order to balance those variables. And we're generally trying to balance. A lot of it is that we're trying to balance for just sort of overall usefulness. Some of the characters are definitely much more built around speedrunning, and so we did try and get them as close to each other in terms of speedrunning as possible. So yeah, I mean, like we added in a couple of things for the lookout at the last minute in order to try and make her a little more viable on speedrunning. She's actually slightly faster than everyone else.
Right, because I mean, as is she, once they get used to the guard locations and stuff and they know where everyone is, I guess her usefulness wanes.
Well, no, that's not true. But
Oh, okay.
a lot of people think that, and if you talk to our top beta tester that is like a fucking genius at the game, he uses the lookout throughout the game.
Oh, wow.
Uh, but yeah, the look everyone else travels 6 tiles per second, and the lookout travels like 6.25 or something. It's just a tiny amount, but we did buffer a little bit to make it
Makes
good
a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's a bunch of things like that. And so, speed running is one thing, and then sort of kind of stealthing is the other general balance. And then in general, we just wanted it to be fun. Like the mole, who knows if the mole is balanced, but he's just hella
He's fun. Yeah, I mean, and I don't think the mole is necessarily meant for a speedrunner. Again, it just comes back to what they're looking to get out of their Monaco experience.
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, let's show off the game a bit, because I know that there are some people that are eager to see some gameplay, people who, again, have never even heard this game, who is joining us for the first time tonight. So, all right.
I gotta boot the game up here.
No problem. Actually, I can turn up the game a little bit. Audio balance on the fly. Oh, I love this music, by the way. It's like, I can't say that enough. The music's so good. Did you have a like a ragtime piano thing in mind from the get-go, or was that something that you hired him and said, and he came up with that?
It's funny talking about this as I turn the music off so I can hear you. Yeah, no, I originally used some free or some public domain stuff that's just attribution only, that was ragtime, because part of it is that I wanted the game to there's so much that you have to use your imagination to get in the game, like the sense of place. So like if you're in a kitchen, it looks vaguely like a kitchen, and so we add the blueprint tag on top of it to say kitchen, so you know that you're in a kitchen. And then like what we're hoping is that the player's mind sort of helps to fill in the blanks the way that the old school games, you'd fill in the blanks about what was going on. And we can use a lot of tools for that, like sound effects. If we add in ambient sound effects, we can sort of trigger your imaginative reflex to imagine that you are in a kitchen. But then with the music, it's a little bit. We use this sort of silent movie ragtime, partially to trigger this idea of like I have to imagine filling in the blanks about things. And with silent movies, you have to fill in the blanks about what the actual sound is, because it's just like silent movie ragtime playing on top of the silent movie. And then the title card comes up with like, oh my gosh, she's tied to the train tracks. That
Yeah.
And so, like, we were definitely just trying to trigger the player's imagination, to fill in the blanks, basically, about this very sort of symbolic game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean symbolic in like a cheesy way. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, what level should we do? Do you have a preference?
You've played through a lot of the game, right? You were playing Discotheque last night, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've cleaned out the entire first story arc, and I'm about halfway through the second story arc.
Well,
So
let's do that. Well, no, you're probably a lot of your viewers saw the Discotheque last night. But I do like it.
I was gonna say I'm on the Discotheque in the second story arc. That's the level I'm on. So
that one is so fun. Let's do it.
Let's do that one. Do you want to do just me and you, or you want me to invite a third and fourth player?
Now let's just do me and you.
Okay.
I like 2-player. I think 2-player is a blast, because you can really work together, and it doesn't become quite as much of a shit fest.
All right. Do you mind if everyone sees your Steam name when I invite you?
Go for it. That's fine.
Okay. If I can find it. You said you're in game right now, right?
Yeah. No you know what? I'm listed as Andy Schatz right now.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Schatz. There we go.
Please work. There we go. All right.
All right, cool. This isn't who I'm going to choose. I had to go forward a screen to invite.
These Discotheque levels need a pickpocket so badly.
Absolutely, especially the first one. I think in this one, I can't quite get it. It's a certain floor that I always get stuck on when I'm trying to clean it out single player. But let's see. And plus all those alarm doors.
You know what? Actually, hold on. I'm going to go... can you re-invite me in a second? Because I have to go use my cheat to unlock all the characters.
Sure. No problem.
All right. Right.
Chat, who do you want me to use? I'll ask them, because I don't have a preference right now.
You can invite me again if you want.
Okay. Redhead. Actually, we're getting a lot of redhead asking a lot.
I was thinking actually I would play the redhead if you want.
Okay. No, you can do redhead, and then I'll do mole, which was the other one.
Sure.
So mole and redhead will be an
Awesome.
interesting team. All right, invite player. My gargantuan Steam friends list.
How many does it allow?
I don't know, like 200, 250, something like that.
All right.
It's a lot.
What is the multiplayer? 15 minutes on this. Whoa! Second place. First place is 15 minutes. Second place is 31 minutes. We can beat 15 minutes. We can certainly beat 31 minutes.
Wait, overall. No, for me, the first two places are both 15 minutes, 47 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those two were probably playing together.
Yeah,
I see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. 15 is tough, but yeah. 31 we should easily be able to do.
Yeah, we could probably beat that if we don't die. Man, I'm excited for the level editor. I talked about this last night. We're going to have some kind of custom level competition.
Nice.
Wait, can I?
Yeah.
I can actually go through the pool as the mole, which is funny.
Yeah.
Oh, there's already a guy down there. Oh,
I got him.
yeah.
I need some gear.
Actually, I'm going to make a path here for later. I think when I play mole, I less than doing the paths that we need immediately and make paths that I know will be useful later on.
You are a smart mole.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, shoot. I actually have been doing so much like Xbox code and stuff like that lately that I kind of forget a lot of the level tricks, like, you know, where all the guards are and everything. So I'm probably gonna suck right now.
It's okay. I'm not doing particularly well either, so...
Oh, we're doing good though.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Oh, shit. I ended up in a bad spot, but that's okay. Yeah, I see. His attention was drawn to this spot where I just dug. Very interesting.
Yep.
Oh,
Damn it. Don't come in here. I can't.
I also noticed that sneaking makes such a huge difference for whether or not you aggro someone.
Huge difference.
Like, it's almost like people think that unless you have a disguise, you better run. But it's not even true, because even without a disguise, as long as you just walk, you can often avoid aggro.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
I'll come get you. It's okay. I'll come get you. I'm a mole. God damn.
Yeah, just go outside.
Never mind.
You can hit if you head south. You can take the outside route.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're gonna die.
We're fine. We're fine. Oh.
What gear do you have?
Machine gun.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's where you are. Cool. That pressure plate. Wonderful. Good thing I didn't just rush in. Alright, before all these civilians, there's a guard on the right,
I'm
so
gonna
let's
grab
run left.
that disguise. Oh no, you should grab that disguise.
Okay. Ooh. I did not take nearly as much damage as I thought I was going to.
Alright, we're gonna be okay.
We're fine, we're cool.
Oh, thank God for that. Nice, well done on this hole in the wall.
Oh, thank you. I also like the mole's ability to pretty much make any lock useless because he can just dig a hole right next to any locked door.
And he's faster at oops.
It's okay.
He's actually faster at digging than he would be if he were just unlocking the door.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, 6
Dude,
more.
we're almost done. Over on the left. And I'm gonna have a hard time getting over there without picking up a follower, but.
Oh boy. Alright. I just killed 3
that.
guards though. That's okay.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Alright, your health is good. I'm gonna take the next health pack that we find. Alright,
Yeah,
so
I
the last
just
bits...
actually healed you, so...
Oh, nice, thank you. So, there are 2 bits on the left and 1 on the right. I guess I'll hit right, since you're
Jesus,
right there.
I'm probably gonna die, actually.
You can do it.
Yeah, I might... I did get away.
Nice. Oh, and the mole's gonna be great on this map because the second floor, I think it is, has so many alarm doors. It's absurd. That whole upper right corner is all alarm doors.
There's a couple of really useful secret passages in this level, especially on that bottom floor. Have you found any of the secret passages yet? There's only secret passages in the pickpockets missions.
No. Actually, no, I haven't found any.
If I shouldn't be spoiling it for people, but hold on, see if I can get. I should be able to get.
Could you seduce this guard at top?
Yeah, I can try. It's tough because there's so many.
Yeah, all those other guys. There you go.
Oh no.
Oh, never mind.
Got the wrong one.
That's okay. All right, we made it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for it to cool down.
Okay. There's definitely a few things that are a little better in local play when there's no lag. So what are we at? Oh yeah, I'm over 150 milliseconds lag, so it's definitely partially affecting gameplay a little bit.
Guard coming. Someone asked if it's just gonna be me and Andy, and I think so.
We can add more if you like.
Yeah, maybe later on we'll do a round with whoever joins, but definitely early on it's good to just do the two of us, I think.
Yeah. All right, I got him.
Cool. Let's see what's up here. Oh, right into view of her. Okay.
Oh shoot, I forgot that. That's a stationary laser. It's not even gonna blink off.
Oh, I found a secret passage, I think.
Yep, there you go.
I just did that totally unintentionally too. That's the funny part.
There's tons of those in all the pickpocket missions.
That's awesome. That's actually going to be very useful if I'm trying to solo clean this later.
Do you see that the socket kind of in the upper right up there? There's a one right next to that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I am watching the chat as best as I can. It's just really hard to read for a game like this. So I love that if you get close enough, you can steal a bit without alerting a civilian.
Yep, you can just pick their pockets.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like.
It's a lot easier if you're disguised, so the gentleman's actually really good at it too.
Well, gentleman can just walk straight into him.
Can't wait till you get to the last mission of the pickpocket story.
Just because of what happens.
I think there's very few people that have actually gotten that far, and it's really hard. And the story twist is, I don't know, it's really cool. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's neat, and there's definitely a gameplay twist there too.
Awesome. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for the people in chat, but I got to the epilogue of the first story arc, and
cool.
It was before the game was out, so I had no one to play with. I should have organized with the media in that thread or something, because I was very sad. Because again, I don't want to spoil it, but we'll just say that the final mission you need to play multiplayer. It's not a single player thing.
Right. Oh, Jesus. I just basically got everyone on my tail. I gotta make a run for it.
I love how you can hide. Oh, shit. Oh, run. Nope. I'm gonna take some bullets here, probably. Oh, wait, no. I got far away enough.
Let me through!
Alright, there's a health kit up here. I'll save it for you.
It's okay. I'm good.
And I'm actually gonna mole... Wait, is that a civilian? Yes, it is. Shit. I was gonna say
if you go through that, go through that ladder and come into my room. There's definitely a couple of holes here.
All right.
It'd be useful. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, this is the part of the map that's killing me when I'm doing in single player. Don't die! Don't die! Don't die! You can make it.
It's gonna be so close. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh boy. That's okay. I don't think that's in plain sight of anyone. So yeah. It's funny because there's a point where you just realize you're going to die, and it's better to just make an effort to get somewhere where it's easy to be revived.
Don't die in the middle of the room.
Yeah, like yesterday when we were playing with Andy Wynn, all three of us died right in the middle of an arms safe. And it was up to Study Guy, who was playing the game for the first time, to retrieve us, and it was really very humorous.
That's how you guys ended, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually that match is on YouTube now because Andy asked me to upload it to YouTube. So.
That's awesome.
All right, we gotta get this room somehow.
I gotta do a better job at picking off the guys, as they picking off the right ones. Keep hitting the wrong ones.
All right. Well, I made this corner. If you take my shit, there's a guard coming. Oh wow, the guard is actually taking my tunnel that I made. It's kind of funny. There you go.
I got
Perfect.
the right one.
I'm just going to clean it out as much as I can. The only guard that's here is a melee guard, so I don't care about him. So yeah, really the only scary guard in this area is the one with the machine gun, as long as you have a redhead.
He's coming back now, so you better get away. Yeah, very well done.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna mole.
There's actually, if you, there's this bush that I'm hiding in right now in the upper right-hand corner of the dance floor.
Yeah.
If you come down here with a machine gun, you can kill almost everyone on the entire floor. If you have a lot of ammo. If you haven't used up your ammo.
Oh, don't die. Oh, shit. No. Oh, this is very, very bad. Double kill, yeah. Where's my achievement? What is your opinion on achievements in games in general? Like how they're treated these days?
Some people like them. I think it's fun to get an achievement, but it's generally pretty lame when you get an achievement for just finishing a chapter in the game.
Yeah, if it's something that's going to happen anyway, then it's lame.
I don't have anything like everyone plays games differently, right? And it's hard to really look down on the way someone wants to play a game. And that might not be my style, but yeah, there are definitely achievements that just feel lazy, that don't feel like they don't feel like they're gonna help anyone.
It's not even an achievement,
really. They're
really.
not gonna be fun. Yeah.
It defeats the. That's kind of cool how you're like reviving me in chunks there. That was awesome. I didn't even think of that.
My lag's pretty bad. It's over 200. It's probably, I don't know. Maybe it's slow or something, or something about.
Next round, I'll let you host, so that way I'll.
No.
The lag.
You should stick with it because it casts better.
All right, so we have 24. One of them is the electronic safe. In the south.
3 in front of the coat check, 1 in front of that front door. We haven't hit that downstairs, the underground dance party yet.
So what's this guard doing? Go away.
There's 5 on the left, like bottle service, 2 in front of the liquor storage, 5 in front of coat check. There's probably some outside too.
All right. What's the plan?
Well, let's see. No, the DJs are bad. I think we just need to go south. Let's go through this secret passage.
Okay.
And then pick
down.
up someone. Yeah, let me just take someone. See, this is the redhead. The redhead can get other people to open.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that worked on alarm doors. I knew that they would open other doors for you.
Works on every door.
That's awesome.
So now
that makes me want to play the redhead a lot more now.
I'll grab this.
Shit. Don't come up here. I'm gonna grab this disguise because I'm about to take heavy aggro. There we go. I could kill everyone here really quick. Well, no. No, there's a lot. I don't know what to do. It's hard without a virus here.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's 1 armed guard.
Let me leave Brittany alone.
Oh, we're not doing too well. Nope.
No. And I'm close to death too. Hopefully I can get through here. Hide in the
Now,
stairs.
since we're only doing 2-player, it won't be game over, right?
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
In single player, you would respawn as someone else.
But if it's multiplayer, even if it's just 2 of us, we don't get 2 more chances. Okay, I see. I thought it was for pooled lives amongst everyone who's in play.
But we can. You and I can revive each other as many times as we want.
Right. Okay.
All right. I don't know if this is the best way to go, but if I can grab the right guy, this is the way to go. But
yeah, if you can get the machine gun guy, that's to my left.
Yeah, I kind of have to. If I can stay behind these pillars and not aggro anyone, because the redhead is much faster at reviving. So.
Mm-hmm. I say you already have a guy following you.
Don't, damn it!
I think that's it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I don't think we chose the most ideal classes either for that situation.
And honestly, the lag was killing me, man.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 200 milliseconds or something like that. But no, it's maybe we just pick one with less guards in it. It's going to be a little.
Sure. Yeah, I just chose the one that I'm personally working on right now.
I love that mission. I love it so much.
Do you want to go one more, or do you want to talk a bit first and then do one later on?
Whatever you want. This is your cast.
Okay, yeah. I mean, all right. So let's just talk a bit more, and then we'll do another round or 2.
Sure.
So let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the art style of the game. I guess the big thing I wanted to talk about in regards to the art style is it's kind of Monaco has a very delicate balance between practicality and aesthetic. Like on one hand, the game is gorgeous; it looks very nice. I really like the bloom over all of the menu items and everything. Just all the expressions of the people, all of the. I like how the levels actually look like what they're supposed to look like. Everything looks nice, but at the same time, the graphics are also very practical. Like you can tell what's going on. It serves its gameplay functions very nice. So was it tough to balance those two things?
Yeah, I mean, originally it was much more sort of like pixel art. It's funny when people call it 8-bit because I know you didn't call it 8-bit, but it's not. It's definitely not an 8-bit game because 8-bit. I think what 8-bit actually describes is large chunky pixels, and it's not chunky pixels. But the original look of Monaco back when I first started working on it in 2009, it was those big chunky pixels.
Yeah.
And then, and all of the lighting and visibility was actually fully tile based, so the whole tile would light up or the whole tile would darken down if you could see.
Right. It was very like what's the word I'm looking for? Like ridged and.
Yeah, it's
whereas now it's a really straight line.
Yeah, it's vector based now, right? So when I made that change with the visibility and the lighting, what I wanted to do is I wanted to stick with, I wanted to embrace this idea of geometry in the game because with those rays of vision coming out, I knew that there was always going to be sort of this hard edged geometry to the whole game. And then even beyond that, I also kind of knew that there's so much visual information going on all the time that I didn't want to clutter it up with like really heavily textured stuff. I wanted to keep everything super simple and symbolic to try and keep it kind of clean and all in that language. Even beyond that, the game still is of course tile based, and I kind of felt like the players would always be able to see through the fact that even though it wasn't, there are tiles that can spill off into other tiles. Not everything is like aligned to the tile. I kind of felt like people would always be able to kind of see the tile-based origin of the art. And so I kind of wanted to embrace this idea of big squares, but tweaked. So like a lot of rotated squares in the art. That's the diamonds. This makes me sound like such a snob because I'm like so we took squares and then we rotated them 15 degrees. But yeah, that's kind of what we did. The whole theme is kind of hangs on, or the whole visual theme hangs on this idea of.
Hello?
Yeah. Hey, sorry. Am I back?
Yeah, it just switched microphones or something for a second.
Oh, weird. Yeah, the whole visual motif is kind of based on this idea of tweaked squares.
Yeah, and actually, if you look at the stream right now, I have a comparison photo of pretty much the same exact shot, but one's in Monte Carlo and one's in Monaco. If you wanted to load up the stream real quick so I can show you, or so you can relate.
Yeah. It's this video, right? Yeah. Hold on, it's loading.
It's okay.
It's still got a loading thing on. Maybe it's because I have the chat in the background or something.
Maybe I don't know. It just as long as it's muted, it should load up in a second.
Maybe because my internet sucks.
But
yes, exactly.
You see it? So there's this, and then if I fade in, you can actually see the same exact screenshot in the current game. Right. Like that. So it's very interesting to see how they've changed over the years. Like the original, you can see exactly what you're talking about, how it's 100% tile-based, even the line of sight, and then now it's very smooth. And it's interesting how, in a way, that contrasts with, I guess, the tile-based, because you have a straight line that's super smooth.
No. And there's still tile-based. Like if you look at that, you can see that the black areas, the areas you haven't explored yet, are revealing based on the tiles. And with the AI, some of the AI does the vector-based line of sight stuff, but there's still a lot of tile-based math behind it because the tile-based stuff is actually much faster, and doing all of those vector-based line of sight checks would be extremely slow. We couldn't have nearly that many AI if they were all doing vector-based line of sight checks. So yeah, so I ended up being sort of the art director on the whole thing. You know what? Let me see if I can post a picture of this in the the chat room also.
Sure. Or if you link it to me, I can just throw it up on stream.
Oh yeah, good call. So one of the movies that I mentioned earlier, this let me pull up the um, let me make sure that will work. So that is one of my favorite heist movies, and you'll probably notice some similarities to
Oh
the
yeah.
look of Monaco.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very obvious. I mean, just like with the character names, the colors,
Yep,
everything there.
yep, exactly.
And actually, I have a version of the picture that I just had earlier, except like a totally movie poster version. Let me find it. Monaco header. Oh wait, no, it was in the press kit. That's where it was. Let me bring that up real quick, just to compare these two, because it's very interesting. Art concepts. Here we go. Monaco. Oh, it didn't open. Oh, there we go. Monaco movie poster. Monaco would be a
Yeah,
good movie. I think that just the heist concept in general just works
yeah,
with all
yeah.
media. I
It
can't
sure
think of a
does.
medium where a heist would be boring.
Right.
At least with the whole rise and fall thing, that again is super vital to everything that Monaco is about.
Yep, and that's really the key of it. That it's not a stealth game. That it's a heist game. And heist movies are always about like, you come up with a plan, and then you try and execute that plan, and then something goes wrong, and there's a chase scene, and then someone does something clever, and they get away.
Hmm.
And that's basically do that, rinse and repeat about 3 times, and roll credits. That's a heist game.
Yeah, except
So
Monaco, it's rinse and repeat 33
yeah.
times. That's okay. I love
And
it.
even inside the course of a level, what we want is for that same emotional arc to be compressed into something that happens once per minute, once or something along those lines. Yeah, it's definitely we use a lot of the mechanics, we use a lot of the language of
Hmm.
a stealth game, but it's not at its core, or it's not like primarily something that you would think of as a regular stealth game by any means.
Yeah, and part of it's also just the expectations that's imposed on the player. Whereas another stealth game, or I should say a stealth game, they kind of expect you to try your damnedest to not be seen and to make to the point where it's totally possible. And if you do get caught, you're often punished for it, or at
Right.
least the player feels a lot of pressure. Whereas in Monaco, it's kind of the opposite. You're not expected to be caught. It's just part of it. You are expected to be caught sooner or
Right.
later, and instead of feeling frustrated, I guess people feel exhilarated because it's like, oh, here it comes, the part that was bound to happen.
Yep, and we wanted to make failure fun because I can't think of a single stealth game where failure is fun. Even they always try and say, "Oh, but then you get to be in this big shootout and it's awesome, and look, our shooting mechanics are so good." But it always feels like a disappointment when it happens.
Yeah.
And then you reload, and at some point, it's like I was playing Dishonored, and don't get me wrong, Dishonored, what a beautifully realized world, and it's awesome. But the problem is, like, if you go into it playing it like a stealth game, you're gonna reload every time you're seen because it's like
Yep.
you want to go through the whole game without killing anyone.
Right.
And then at some point, you always get to a decision point. You're right. You get to that decision point of like, gosh, I just can't do this anymore. This is too frustrating. I'm just going to kill everyone. And then at that point, it's just like you just want to kill everyone,
Or you
right?
quit.
Or you quit. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Um,
someone in chat said that put it pretty appropriately. They said stealth-based games are quick save-based games.
Yep.
Pretty
Yep.
much.
Yeah, I was playing Dishonored on PS3, and I rage quit on it because I was trying to stealth it. And
Yeah, I mean, most recently I replayed Metal Gear Solid 3, and at first I was going for a no alert, no kill game, and then eventually I just got to the point where, because I'm not amazing at Metal Gear Solid, but I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'll just go for no kill,
Right.
because I'm going to get these alerts and I can definitely get out of alert, but it's getting to the point where I don't want to restart the same section 20 times before I get the result that I was hoping to get, and then ultimately
Right.
not have a major reward for it anyway.
Payday is an interesting one because Payday is basically the Reservoir Dogs of heist games or of stealth games in that it's not a stealth game anymore. It's the aftermath of the stealth game. It's the
Mhm.
like it's basically like the botched heist. So I actually like the fact that Payday, while it's obviously not a stealth game, it's just a straight up team shooter or co-op shooter. In a sense, the whole game, all of Payday, and a lot of people don't like Payday, but I think Payday is pretty cool. And I like the idea that Payday is, the whole point of it is making failure fun. That
because it pretty much fast forwards to the point of the failure.
Yes, exactly.
It throws you right into, okay, you're discovered, cops are coming, you got to deal with them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Let's see what else we got. Let's talk a little bit about, I guess this is more of a question, but what are some, I know in another article I was reading when I was preparing for a different interview, the developer talked about game designer fantasies for their game. Like they said, game designer fantasy for me is that I hope that people use chat titles in the sense like, mentor people here or noobs here or whatever. What are some game developer fantasies for you now that Monaco is out there in the world? What do you hope people will do with it?
Oh, that is a really, I give a lot of interviews, and and usually I get basically the same questions every time. I've never gotten that question, and it is such a damn good question.
Oh, thank you so much. Mission complete. All right, thanks everyone. You can go.
Yeah, we're done. We're done here. And it's a good enough question. I actually have to think about it a little bit.
Sweet.
Well, there are things that our beta testers are, and I know a couple of our beta testers are there in the chat. There are some of our beta testers that I suspect, part of the reason they discovered the depth of the game is because they not only helped to create the depth, but we were there to sort of shepherd them into it, because obviously we were trying to expose that depth to people as much as possible during the beta and figure out how to expose that. But I hope that, is Crossbot in the, I don't think Crossbot's in the chat, but
I haven't seen him. I've seen lots of Zizzy, but
yeah, Zizzy Spencer's awesome. And Masta Stealth is the guy who did the character art, the one with the 8 characters across, the Brian Franco.
Yep.
But Crossbot is he played like every level like 300 times in order to plan out the exact route, and so he does these so-called speed runs. But I've had people start to say on Twitter that they never have been the type of person that ever did speed runs in games, but for some reason they enjoy speed runs in Monaco. And the reason, and I really, really hope that a speedrun community develops around Monaco, and it's not the typical speedrun community. It's not the Mario speedrunners, because the whole point of Monaco, when you get really, really deep into Monaco, when you get really good at Monaco, the whole point of Monaco becomes speedrunning, but it's not the same thing. And let me describe.
It's reactionary, I guess.
Well, no, it's not. That's the cool thing. It's like, it's not just memorization. It's actually just strategic. It's like the first time you play a level in Monaco, you explore it. You don't really know like what's in the level, right? And you find out where all the safes are, and you figure out the traps, and then you then you go back and you play it again, and you clean out 100% of the loot, right? And maybe at that point you're strategizing about like which characters to use, right?
Like the pickpocket would be great for this disco level where there's all these people on the dance floor. And
then you start to get to this point where you are thinking to yourself, like maybe you even print out the maps at that point, and you like he basically is like printing out the maps and drawing his paths, because he's taking this whole concept of a heist, and there's this whole like first third of a heist movie that doesn't exist explicitly in Monaco, but once you get really into Monaco, all of a sudden that first third of the movie is actually in the game, and it's
outside of the game, but it's part of it was spurred on by the game.
Exactly, it's the metagame. So it's like you start to think, okay, here's the route that I have to take, and there's even points where it's like, to make it through fastest, it's best to actually die at one point so that you can
switch classes.
Will respawn at a staircase, and so you can switch classes.
Oh, that's smart. That's good.
And so like that whole meta game is, and it's not about speedrunning in the sense of like it's not like a racing game. It's not like a Mario thing where you have to be like, you have to hit the controls at the perfect time. That's not what it's about at all. In fact, if you watch some of his speedruns, it's he makes mistakes, and you do have to try and minimize those mistakes, but it's so much of it is just about like
The pre-game decision making.
pre-game decision making and learning the levels in a strategic sense, not memorizing them, because you can't memorize the levels because the guard routes change and the loot changes and all of that.
Right, exactly.
So you still have to improvise, but at the same time, like you just have to you have to get to know the game, and you have to really think about it, and then be able to think on your toes as you're playing it. So yeah, I'd be super psyched if there was a community of people that got into that.
Yeah, awesome. This is a small question just before we play another round.
Sure.
Who made? Because I'm staring at it right now. This is the art I have up. It's the picture. It's the black and white picture with all the rats.
That one is me.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's like, of all the stuff in the press kit, this was. I saw that and I was just like, holy shit, that is so badass and cool, and still appropriate to the game, because I mean the game throughout it's just talking about these dirty criminals, and I don't want to get into spoilers, but I mean the rat analogy actually enters the game at one point.
Yep, it does. It's definitely. I don't remember which one was which, but each of those rats does represent one of the characters in the game.
Really?
Yeah, just in terms of his pose. And in fact, it's quite possible that, because I did that pretty early on, it's quite possible that the story has changed enough since then that it wouldn't even apply anymore if I even remember. But yeah, it's that was a fun little piece to do. I honestly, I'm so psyched to start working more regularly with the artist. That I've been working with this guy for like 8 years now, but he only kind of came in to do some bits and pieces, and then a lot of the marketing stuff at the end he helped us out with. So he definitely has a strong touch on Monaco. But I was definitely the art director on this, and I can't keep pulling this ruse off because I don't have the artistic chops to keep pulling it off. So I'm psyched to have someone else to help out on the next game.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, it's funny because I usually open my interviews with this question. It's become kind of, I guess, a tradition with Vinesauce developer interviews. So not even a real question, but I'm going to pose it anyway. You ready?
Yeah.
When does next Monaco?
Next Monaco.
You don't even have to answer it really, but it's kind of this inside joke that what came up when we were interviewing Edmund. We said, when does next Isaac? And then I interviewed Chris, and it was, when does next Spy Party? So yeah.
I'll tell you what is next for Monaco.
Sure.
And then I'll tell you about my dreams for it too. Next up is the XBLA version, which hopefully is out really, really soon, but I don't have a date on it.
That's nasty that they delayed it, for those that don't know.
The day before launch, it got delayed.
Microsoft, yeah.
It's not their fault. It was a bug in my code. For whatever reason, when you deal with big companies like this, they don't like you to talk about the specifics of things. It's not a big deal. I mean, yeah, it was a big bad bug that we didn't catch until like 2 days before launch, and then a bunch of flurries of phone calls. No one caught it, not Microsoft or us, and flurries of phone calls, and then we decided, oh, shit, well, we need to update this before we should launch. But for whatever reason, when you work with these big companies, they just don't like you to talk about stuff. So I'm not supposed to talk about it, even though it's totally innocuous and it's whatever. But yeah, it's in my code. The blame on how it happened is probably shared all around. But so whatever, it is what it is, and I'm not mad at anyone.
It happened.
It does suck that it happened the day before launch.
That's okay. I mean, honestly, I think more and more indie developers are coming to terms with this at Microsoft's. And again, I don't want to blame the company because, like you said, it's not their fault. But it seems like Steam is becoming the bigger key player in regards to just exposure for indie games.
It's definitely selling a lot. So anyways, XBLA is next. Right after that should be the editor on PC. We'll release it in beta or even alpha. So people should be building levels. Hopefully that's just within maybe a week from now or so.
Wow.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, and I invite you. This is my formal invitation. You can be one of the judges for our level competition if you'd like.
Right. Actually, no. A week from now is probably won't be a week from now. It'll probably be a week and a half from now. I'm guessing. What does that make? So it'll be like I'm hoping we can do it like Monday the 6th or maybe Tuesday the 7th or something like that, somewhere around there. Um, uh, and the edit. So there's the editor, and then we're going to put out a PvP level pack that I think we're going to. I think is going to be just free DLC.
Awesome.
And then the next big question is whether or not the community is sustaining, is creating high quality enough content for us to kind of let that stuff sort of, let the expansion of the game fall to the community, or whether we should need to be doing it in house. But I do have dreams of doing a whole nother campaign that would be entitled Bullet Train to Paris, because
cool.
there is actually a bullet train that goes from Paris, or from Monaco to Paris.
Yeah, and sorry
setting it all in like big, the big Parisian tourist traps.
And actually you gave me just another question to hit me, and then we're gonna get into another round because about that time. But have you considered designing levels? Because right now the geometry within the level is very varied, but in the overall picture it's always the same very large rectangle. I mean, there are chunks that are like a very narrow vertical section or confined to a certain chunk of that rectangle. Have you ever considered, say, like if you do this third story arc about the bullet train, would you make a whole level that's totally this really narrow horizontal train level?
So the problem is that you need to be able to play it. If you play it locally, the game zooms out.
Right.
And so there is definitely, the maps are intentionally, essentially at the aspect ratio of a monitor. So while it's certainly possible to do that kind of thing, we probably won't, change that aspect ratio just so for people that are playing, on the same screen. But one of the things I would love to do for like a Monaco 2 would be to make it. Right now you can only go up or down, and I would love to make it so that there's exits on all four sides, like north, south, east, west, just like a Zelda game too.
Right.
But yeah, because of the zoom out, because of the local play, you really have to leave it at the aspect ratio of the monitor.
Someone said, go Civ 5 with Monaco 2, make it hex tiles. That'd be interesting. But anyway, so why don't we get into another round? We'll play some more, maybe 2 rounds, and then we'll wrap up with anything that I have lingering, and then finally community questions, because I have some questions I actually collected from the Vine Sauce community to ask you.
Awesome. All right.
So let's get back to the game. Let's just keep it you and me. I think that's the simplest thing. We don't have to spend a lot of time adding people. So I apologize if anyone was really hoping to get in. If you ever feel like being a guest, then
I'm gonna hold on. For some reason, let me restart the game.
Okay.
I think my computer's being retarded. I think part of the problem was that the game was running at super low res for a little bit. I mean, not res, but FPS.
And I'll let you host the level so I can deal with the lag.
No. You should host. It's gonna look.
Sure?
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
Just close down all this shit that's going on. I'm closing. Sorry, chat room. I'm closing you just to. My computer is choking right now.
It's
so
okay.
Hard.
Yeah, someone asked me, and I really shouldn't talk too much about myself when it's an interview about you, but someone asked me what Live by FOMA means. It's actually an abridged quote from a Kurt Vonnegut book called Cat's Cradle. So read the book, and you'll understand what Live by FOMA means.
I don't remember the meaning of that. It's been a long time since I read it, though.
Yeah, FOMA was in the Bacchananist religion in the book. FOMA is essentially harmless untruths. It's kind of this big commentary on the untruths that a lot of religions and people live their lives by that make them kind of happy and healthy. And
All right, you can go ahead and invite me.
Or what level you want to do? What's your favorite?
Let's do... what is my favorite? We can't spoil the epilogue, can we?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mind, but it's up to you.
No, let's not spoil it. Let's make people buy the game.
Ziz says casino or bank. Last night, the one that we did with Andy Wynn was the casino. That's the one that we failed doing 4-player.
That's so weird. My frame rate is so shit. It's so weird. Um, let's do. Oh no, dude. Let's do Diamant District or the Quartier Diamant.
Okay. So, do you speak French?
No.
So, who'd you have do the
I can
French
sort
voices?
I can kind of read some of it. We crowdsourced it with a French website.
Oh, there you go. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think I remember when was it Monaco or was it something else? But I remember like recruiting translators.
Yep, we did. We
Over
recruited
Twitter.
translators for the to translate the like catalog text for XBLA. That was fun. I did a lot of crowdsourcing. We crowdsourced a bunch of hacking text that we ended up having to cut, which is too bad because it was hilarious.
Darn, I was hoping that you were the person who went, God!
No, but I did originally. I had a couple of French Canadian friends come over and record their voices in my apartment for the original voices, but I don't think those ones exist anymore in the game. Yeah, dude, my FPS is so bad. So I think my computer is like dying. I'm on this laptop, and I literally the bottom of my laptop is I had to remove it because the fans no longer start on their own. I actually have to like jumpstart them with my finger.
That's super ghetto. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Though.
it is super ghetto. So it's on its last legs, man. All right. I don't know. I mean, the mole is good, but they've seen the. I'm gonna be the gentleman.
Okay.
So I can play it slow.
All right. Then I'm gonna do hacker.
Hacker's good.
Yeah, hacker's just like I said, great support. I love him.
Yep. There's a few missions where the hacker's probably pretty useless, and then in every other mission, he's...
Yeah, it was so funny. Like last night, one of the I think I showed Monaco for the first time on Mind Sauce after the embargo lifted, and I was like, okay, so what class do y'all want to see? Everyone says hacker. Okay, what level should we do? Let's do the ocean museum level where we're in an underground cavern with no computers or outlets.
You know what, dude? This is so bad. Like the frame rate is down to 10 on mine, so I'm
Really?
gonna exit this mission and I'm gonna switch to my other computer to play.
Okay.
And that will improve. I can switch to my desktop.
Okay. Do you want to do some community questions now then,
Yeah, let's.
while you're switching,
yeah.
or do you want to like take a break and then just come back
No,
to the stream?
I may need to. You may need to call me right back on Skype, but we can do community questions just while I'm booting it up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you need me to call you back, or should we just go?
Hold on.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, call me back. Can you just call me back now?
Sure.
All right.
And call. Hello?
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
All right, let me plug in a controller and boot the game up. Sorry, Vine Saucers. Sorry about this.
No, it's okay. I mean, we're used to having technical problems every once in a while. It's inevitable. Kind of like being caught in Monaco. It's gonna happen. But that's an enjoyable thing, whereas bad analogy. Anyway, so let's do a community question. So the first one that was in the thread. This comes from user Elizabeth Blossom. She says, "The art style of the game is absolutely gorgeous. While the characters and sprites are simple, the mixture of colors give it so much life and expression. What inspired the art style of the game?"
Well, we kind of addressed some of that before.
Yeah, and I mean that's going to happen a little bit, but
yeah, no, that's fine. You saw that confidence. Can you relink that confidence poster? That is definitely a big one. Let me actually pull up. There's a Honda. Oh, there's a Honda. There's a series of Honda ads that is awesome. That was always sort of a touchstone.
Mm-hmm.
That
what
I
about
always
the
came back.
in-game art?
Yeah, like the top-down art, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely like. Let me look up this reference because it's so perfect. It's really neat to see this. Let's see. Yeah, so heist movies in general often are very sort of noir-y, and the blueprint is something that is, definitely calls back to heist movies in general.
Mm-hmm.
The tilted squares is really sort of the idea. It comes from the idea that I'd never felt like I was going to ever be able to escape the fact that the game was going to look geometric, especially
Yeah.
because I didn't want to go with like a 2.5D or an isometric look because I wanted the player to. There's so much information going on that I felt like adding any sort of perspective at all just adds unnecessary.
Obscures it.
Yeah, it adds unnecessary visual information, and there's just so much going on already that I didn't feel like it could handle any more than that.
So a lot of I guess the oblique angles are just from trying to make it seem less geometric than it is.
Right. It's not that it's not to make it seem less geometric. It's actually just to embrace the geometry. That's the whole point.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's funny because now that we're wrapping up that question, Liz, who asked the question, just popped in the chat. So, but yeah. Anyway,
let's see, man. I can't. I don't know where this is.
it's okay. Well, you can keep looking for it, and while we move on to the next question or whatever.
I'm good to play another level if you want.
Okay, then let's do it.
Go.
Let's do it. Quartier Diamant.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh wait.
Start the game
custom.
up.
Create match. Bum bum. Bum bum. What's it like working with Austin when you were creating the score?
Austin was so much fun. He's
yeah.
Sorry, my hold on just 1 second.
Okay.
I'm on a cast with like 400 people in the chat room, so I want to hang out for just a little bit. Is that okay? All right. Go grab a beer or something. My buddy shut up. I'm telling him. Oh yeah, open the scotch. Open the scotch and get me a drink. Thank you.
There you go. Now you've totally entered Vine Sauce mentality. Yeah. Doing shots with Andy Schatz. That's what it is.
Hey controller, wake up. Hold on.
Meanwhile, he's in your kitchen stealing everything in sight.
I know he is. No, this is a buddy of mine from a childhood buddy of mine that moved back to San Diego a couple of years ago, and he's a studly doctor. He's such a stud. All right. I'm sorry, I'm switching controllers here.
Someone said you should get drunk and hand out Steam keys.
I should get drunk and hand out Steam keys to who would I hand them to?
I would say, I mean, if you want to, we could do like a 1 or 2 key giveaway. If up to you.
Yeah, sure. I'd be psyched to do that.
I don't know. We'll have to figure something out with who actually gets it, but we'll improvise later on.
Sorry, hold on. I'm waiting for my controller to wake up because I fucking suck at this.
It's okay.
How about another question while I'm trying to figure this out?
Okay. Dr. Wizard asks, were there any classes that were dropped because they were too unbalanced or useless?
Yeah, there were classes. We never changed the number of classes. Well, we went from 4 to 8. We never changed the when we were doing 8. We never went down from that. But there were definitely things that we tried as classes that just simply didn't work. We struggled a lot with some of them all the way up until the very end. But like the gentleman for a while was a hypnotist instead of a master of disguise.
Interesting. Was that kind of like what the redhead is now?
It is. It actually is similar to that, except you actually controlled the guard that you had charmed. There's like a Michael Caine heist movie, a famous one, I think, that in which he hypnotizes a dude. And that's how he robs the bank. Let's see. What else? The lookout used to be the Prowler, and she used to be a parkour, like Mirror's Edgy type character.
Right.
She's in a lot of heist movies they call it the Grease Man, right? It's the person that is your physical expert, basically. Let's see. Damn, this controller's not waking up because it sucks. I might have to grab even another controller. Let's see. The hacker was it was interesting. You actually used to be able to control the viruses as well, so you would have to like stay at the terminal,
Oh man, micromanaging up the ass, I bet.
and then you would move the. So the idea was like the hacker was kind of the guy.
Hello? Hang on, cut out for a second if you can still hear me. Alright, well, we lost Andy. Sorry, game over. Hang on, let me try calling him back. You there? Hello? If you can hear me, Andy, we cannot hear you. His mic maybe got cut out somehow. Oh, I heard something. Did you guys hear that? I heard something. It was like a little click. The scotch killed him. That was it. He just took a shot and done. Oh, it's actually his webcam just turned on. Hello. Yeah, we can't hear you. We can see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, and we can see you.
Yeah, baby. I'm a wreck, so I'm gonna turn video back off. But
there you go.
Yeah, I'm just using the webcam now rather than my headphones, so hopefully that'll be okay.
Okay.
But sorry about all these glitches here.
No, I mean it's Murphy's Law, you know.
I know it does kind of happen this way. Yay! And my controller just woke up. So yeah, I'm good to go. I think.
Okay, cool.
Accept the invite now.
I'll invite you, or is it still on screen?
I don't know.
I'll just re-invite you. There we go.
Gotcha.
Everyone thinks you look glorious in the brief time that you were on visually on stream.
Hello. Hello. Oops, shit, I just left your match, sorry. Guys, look at this.
It's okay. One sec. Andy Schatz, or Schatz. I had to train myself for so long trying to say shots instead of Schatz.
It's okay. It's like people do it half and half and then they learn and whatever.
I can hear an echo. Do you have...
Let me turn you way... Hold on.
That or headphones if you got them.
Yeah, I do have headphones around. This ought to do the trick.
And then you need at least two more monitors.
I know, seriously.
And a controller.
I'm so sorry to all your viewers. I'm normally not the one screwing up here. It's normally people like you that screw up.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta screw up more. Gotta get on that.
I'm a pro at this.
Oh, you need to say something prophetic because you sound super like reverby and godlike.
Oh, sweet.
Tell us about the PlayStation 4.
Now, go on it, or a puppy will arrive at your house and kill you with a hippo. I'm untangling these iPod headphones right now.
That's okay. This is very entertaining because the voice is perfect.
Sweet. Alright, headphones are plugging in now. Talk to me.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. No more echo. Perfect.
There we go. Done. Cool. Alright.
I say you sound echoey, but I don't hear myself, so I'm not sure how that's happening.
I still sound echoey. It's probably just because I'm going to move the camera or the webcam a little closer to my mouth, so it's maybe not so distant.
Yeah, it's like I don't hear myself, but I can still hear your reverberation.
You know, I wonder if it's going in through.
Oh, the game. Maybe the game is set to not instead of push to talk. Maybe it's set to.
I bet you're right on this because I switched screens, so I suck at this so bad. This is so bad. All right, I was going to play the gent, and then you are right. Voice chat is always on. Good call.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Fixed.
Yep, there we go. All right, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Cool.
So
right.
This level has the C4 in it, and the C4 is the only way to truly, like, guards can always be revived if you shoot them, and they turn into skeletons, but the C4 you can actually, like, destroy guards for good. So,
yeah, isn't this the first level that C4 appears in, or is...
this is the C4. Yep.
I think it is.
The intro mission.
Yeah, C4, especially when I discovered that you can blow up safes with it. Super helpful.
Yeah, no kidding. There was a time when it's so much nicer now. I'm not playing on a 12 frames per second screen. That is better.
And I'm just gonna hack away, you know.
Yep, do your thing. That's the whole point. It's the hacker's definitely like it's a collection game. You know, the whole idea of it is running around collecting those outlets essentially.
Let's see. There's no easy way for me to get in there. I'm gonna dash up here.
Here, I'll open this for you if you need in.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I love that. How like someone. I just imagine them holding the door open for their.
Or holding the hand down to like help them up, that kind of thing. Oh
yeah.
Shit! Can you get your virus back over here? Can you into one of these? Thank you.
Oh god, I'm down to half health. That was terrible. I barely walked into this guard with a gun.
You gotta see if you really need to see the speed run of this level. It's such a thing of beauty. I just took out like half the.
Yeah, imagine with the C4, it makes a huge difference for speedrunning. Like exactly what to blow up.
You have to plan exactly out where to use a C4. It's my favorite of all the speedruns.
Okay. Wow, that was so strange. I actually thought you were a civilian for a second for some reason. So, gentlemen must be working.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in a bush at a perfect time when you blew that up. That was awesome. Oh, you didn't see me. Awesome.
I took out most of the guys over in this building.
Oh, and that is not you. That's an actual civilian. I'm really all over the place tonight. So, what was I just about to ask? I was about to ask something. No, I totally forgot. Oh, well.
Do you want to go downstairs first, and then we'll take out the eastern building? We can come back up in the eastern building to finish it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
I don't know why I set off that virus. It was totally useless, but oh well.
Hold on. Let's why don't you get back in the stairs, and I'm gonna do this.
Oh, and there we go.
And then we're gonna go back and watch some people die.
Okay. Awesome. Wait, so did the skeleton get destroyed?
Yeah, the guys can't be. If you kill these with a C4, they can't be revived. They're gone.
Awesome. I did not realize that, or I just didn't notice it anyway. And that guy is the biggest threat in this floor so far.
The freaking doctors. Oh, that one machine gunner, yeah.
So, do you feel that groups have had more success sticking together when they're running through stuff to use their abilities in concert or splitting up?
Like level 3 or level 4 is definitely level 4 in terms of skill. Which of course there are no levels, but it's definitely to stick together. And then the highest level is probably to split up.
Shit. Yeah, the C4 there, yeah, totally let me escape.
Yep.
And again, I apologize to the chat how difficult it is to read chat at all while playing this game. And that's not like a... Oh, I remember my question earlier. So how much of a difference does it make with the viruses actually taking out the lights?
Lighting matters more than you probably realize. Oh, shoot, sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, no. Don't die.
I think at least I got one of them.
Oh, that's okay. And I'm not in a bad spot. So lighting makes a big difference then.
lighting, speed of movement is the biggest thing, of course. The distance you are from them, how much in front of you are, or like if you're in their peripheral vision, then they won't see you as well. Let's see.
Oh fuck! Sorry.
Sorry. We've killed half the guys on the floor, so.
What's this room look like? That looks terrible.
Drop some C4 in there.
It's a good
Go
idea.
in there, use it. Oh, you just
nope.
got yourself.
And I shoved the machine guard out of the way. Yeah, it was awful. I did not think that through. Kind of worked, I guess.
That was good.
I have 1 tick of health left, but we're good. So one of the achievements is kill every enemy in the level, isn't it?
Yeah, generally people get that one on the second mission. You don't have to C4 everyone. But there is an achievement for C4ing, I think, 3 attacking guards simultaneously.
Oh, wow.
And that one's fun, because you have to get them, you have to get the right, choose the right guys to pick off and aggro. And then, sorry, I just stole your disguise on the gentleman. That's selfish. Alright, this is I think we're done. We just need this staircase over here. So yeah, the single player speedrun by Crossbot on this level is like 3 minutes. It's insane.
Wow, that really is insane. Oh, yeah. So this is only 2 levels, okay, or 2 floors.
Yeah, it's a short level. It's.
Oh, boy.
But one of the things we found is that the long levels are totally awesome and epic, but in the long run, the people that play a lot of it, I think, gravitate towards the shorter levels a little more.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, to speedrun efficiently, you have to do some repetition. Like, yeah. I mean, it has all the metagame stuff that you were talking about, like really planning on like a whiteboard your path, but it's still just practice.
But there's still, I mean, even in speedrunning of this game, there's still so much improvisation. It's not a straight up just memorize it and do it game.
Let's see how much I can steal from this guy before he even sees me. And alright.
Oh shoot! Just wasted.
Probably get this. Oh, I have a disguise. When did I get that?
I think there was one. Did you pick up the one back in the bathrooms, maybe?
I must have. I didn't. I have no recollection of doing this, but apparently I did it.
Oh, we're doing good. We're killing this.
Yeah, as we both have a nice disguise. This guy, I'm just gonna wear a lot of mine down though. Yep, there it goes.
Yeah, so it's basically like, for your viewers, that black bar around you is kind of like the shield in Halo, except it applies to aggro rather than health.
That's the disguise meter, right?
Yeah.
I remember when I first showed off the gentleman, someone thought it was the health bar, and they were like, "This game is recharging health," because so many knee-jerk reactions to game mechanics, you know.
Oh yeah, people like to knee-jerk. It's like people's favorite thing to do is to make knee-jerk reactions. Hey, come over here. Hey guys, come over here. I have an idea. Take some. You're gonna
be the decoy here. Oh, that works too.
But I took out all those guards.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait, I just have to deal with this. Oh, there is a gun guy.
Oh, he died! That was the last coin.
I only have 1 health. I forgot. I totally forgot.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I suicide bombed.
No, it's okay. It was hilarious. It was really funny. No, it was my fault because I hadn't gotten hit in forever, so it totally went over my head that I only have 1 health left. I never got to a med kit.
Yeah.
Justice served. That sucks. Let's do another one. Which one's next?
Let's do what's a good one? Let's do the mansion and the pickpockets. Mansion Mouchardet and pickpocket story.
Okay, so that'd be Turf War.
Yeah, Turf War. Sorry. This one is actually Crossbot's least favorite one because there's no single good flow path to the thing. So he always yells at us for this one because it's like there's just too much. It takes just too much improvisation for him.
Zizzy says, "There's a good path. He's dumb."
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, did you see that? The number 1 time was like 6 minutes, and the number 2 time was like 8.5. So there's a pretty big discrepancy for number 1.
There's still a lot of room to compete on these leaderboards for people who want to get in here.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, hello. Didn't see you coming. Alright.
We should be able to crush this.
Yeah.
We should be able to crush this level.
Famous last words.
I know. Well, we were gonna crush that previous one, and I got risky, just like it happens at the end of every heist movie. Someone makes a dumb mistake. Someone brings a gun to the heist.
Oh, I'll tell you what. When I was first playing this, what was responsible for most of my alerts were like cats and pigeons and stuff I didn't even think about detecting me at first.
Yeah, those freaking cats.
I'm gonna. Do you want this disguise or should I take it?
Good. I'm good. The animals in this game are like the worst enemies. The dogs, and the cats.
I think it's the crown level of the crown jewels where there's like a cat right next to one of the crown jewels.
The palace levels are so hard. Both Andy Wynn and I totally regret making those palace levels so hard.
So, that's a question. I don't know if you wanted to go into question mode in the middle of a round.
Sure, yeah.
But
it's a pretty easy level.
After you took Andy Wynn on board as a level designer, how drastically did the levels change? Like, could you give me like a before and after anecdote?
Almost all are rebuilt. The mansion is one of the few that actually didn't get totally rebuilt, although we added a third floor to it. There's the only ones in the game that are me are the bank, the first mansion. We did have another level designer on board for a little while, and the hotel the first hotel is mostly his level, not mine, but I certainly have some input on it. I don't know. Actually, it's really interesting. If you go back and play Monte Carlo, you'll notice a lot of similarity with the docks have. They're pretty different, but they do have, bear some resemblance.
Right.
And then, I mean, part of it, I think that, not all of them needed to be redone, but I think part of it was that building the levels was how he learned to build good levels. And so going back and rebuilding them was sort of just part of the process, part of the learning process. I'm waiting for you up here whenever you want to come up.
Yeah, I'm derping around trying to find a good path. I'm good.
I mean, he's definitely a better level designer than I am these days. Although I'm still proud of the stuff that's left in there for me, and he didn't. It's an interesting process because we really did put a ton of effort into the level design process because we're not just trying to do it in terms of designing puzzles. We're also trying to design a sense of place at the same time. So, give you a sense of the atmosphere of each individual room.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to what I was talking about with practicality versus aesthetics, or in this case, theme. You want to balance theme with practical level design.
And so the approach that we took is generally that you design it like you design regular, like actual architecture first. And then, oh Jesus, there's a lot of dudes around here right now. And then once the basic architecture is there, that provides the framework for the traps that you can set inside of that. Generally, we don't like designing the traps first.
I remember Andy talking about how much he loved doing traps where if you get caught, then double locked doors close behind you. It's so cruel. He said those were his favorite. Oh, look at that. A single bit.
So, I find it interesting what people call the coins because I don't refer to them particularly specifically, although I generally do refer to them as, oh shoot, darn it.
Oh, well, that's a good thing to refer to them.
I do refer to them as coins, but everyone seems to have a different name for them. They're gems or diamonds or
yeah, I always call them bits. Yeah.
Loot's another one.
Someone in chat, Dr. Wizard, calls them gold.
Gold, yep. Gold. I wanted to try and establish some sort of established terminology for it, but whatever.
Man, I can't seem to get away from this corner. You've probably been doing all the work.
There's the 3 left in the living room, and then we got to go up to the 3rd floor.
All right, I'm gonna get these just so I feel helpful because I've barely done shit this level.
We got that one dude that's watching those games.
Oh, I could not get away from the laser there. That sucked. Okay.
Oh, that'll be good enough. Take the stairs and then.
Fuck
it.
Sometimes you just want to get in and.
I got so much smoke left. We can smoke bomb basically through the whole level at this point.
Yeah, what level was that? I think it was on the casino, actually, because I was playing Gentleman, and I just wasn't getting seen at all. And eventually I got to the 3rd floor with, like, a full circle of ammo and then some. So, that happens sometimes.
No, there's definitely some, like, the casinos, the palace is definitely harder than the casino. It's definitely a little out of bounds, a little out of order. But for the most part, I think we got the difficulty curve about right. I think that's the only one that I think is a little bit egregious. The Palace is definitely a lot harder. Palace is one of the hardest levels in the game.
Yeah, Palace is tough. Very, very tough.
It's not quite as bad if you play Hacker. Like, the Hacker is pretty necessary.
Oh, and here's one of the secret entrances. Gotcha.
If you start looking for them, it actually becomes pretty obvious where they are.
Are they always, like, next to outlets, I guess?
No, outlets are randomly placed, but you'll see, like, a one tile thick wall that's surrounded by couches on both sides, and, and it's like, such an obvious place for something.
Right, like there should be a door there.
Yeah, exactly. Oops.
It's kind of like, have you seen the game Legend of Dungeon on Steam?
No, I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
We've been doing a lot of Legend of Dungeon on Vinesauce, and it's kind of the same thing where there are secret doors, but you get very adept at telling where they are, so they suddenly become not so secret doors.
Yeah, but that's kind of the whole point of secret doors like that, right? Eventually, once you learn the language of the game, you should be able to read that.
Right. Yeah, it only makes sense.
Yeah. Nice that you've knocked out these guys.
Or this one just woke up.
I've got 4 shots left, and I'm blasting my way out. We only have 1 left up here.
Oh, nope. That's okay.
There's going to be some dead dudes on the way out. It's going to be them or me. Them or me. There we go. We're done. For instance, this guy. Oh!
I love how... Yeah, that guy, you're just about to run past us.
Sorry, bros.
Fine with me. I just have smoke grenades, so it's all up to you for those shots.
I think I'm out. Oh! Who got me? Oh, that guy from way across there.
Yeah, that was... Holy shit.
Windows.
And then down. Oh. Smoke grenade didn't do much, but that's okay. Alright, escape.
Yeah, there's a garage.
It's funny because we've been caught both times, or yeah, the previous 2 matches that we played. So this will be the first one that we've won tonight.
I know, it's kind of pitiful. It's because everyone always gets sloppy and rushes it right at the end.
Yep.
That's how the heist goes. It's always how they go. I'm out of ammo. You can smoke bomb it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Up to smoke bomb it, we'll be fine.
Well, c'est bon.
Smoke again.
That's fine.
Oh, nice. All done.
Yay! We won 1.
Yay!
Like, there's a question that popped up in my head. Did it ever, I guess now that it's released, do you feel like you shouldn't be playing it as much? Like, okay, it's done with, I don't have to... I mean, you're still bug testing and stuff,
I actually haven't been able to play it as much as I'd like. This is the first time I've actually played it since it came out. Yeah, it's super fun. I'm actually really... It's so fun to play it because... just before it comes out, you think to yourself, "Oh my God, are people actually going to enjoy it as much as I think it's fun?"
Right.
And then it comes out, and it's like, we have some reviews that are like 10s. This is the best game ever. We have some reviews that are 8s, and we have a couple of like 6s. So there's like a really wide disparity of how much people are enjoying the game. But those 10s, the people that are just absolutely freaking loving it, and it's not like little podunk places that's true of. Like IGN gave us a 9, and Rock Paper Shotgun said like. It's going to be one of the most beloved games of the decade, So we have some crazy people that are saying that, and when you hear just a small portion of people say it's the best game ever, it just makes you realize, no, we did something right. And it's not that like the people who didn't enjoy it don't get it. It's just that the game's not made for them. The game's made for those people that really, really love it. And I hope that there's a lot of those people out there. And the one thing that like I was nervous about is that there weren't actually going to be any of those people, but there
like
are.
It was so particular, or it appealed to such a particular player
exactly. And even like I absolutely love our beta testers, but there's always this thought of, do the beta testers really, really enjoy it, or do they enjoy it because they get to be a part of the
beta, the early access
know what I mean?
shindig.
And obviously, I love our beta testers, and I think they have great taste. but there's always that thought in the back of your mind that when you go out to the general public, that you've been fooling yourself all along, and imagining that this small sample of people that are beta testers because they are self-selected to love your game are going to represent a larger portion of the people out there. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I want to try to keep this under 2 hours because man,
Yeah,
time flies.
I probably should wrap up here soon. In a
Yeah,
second.
so let's just nail through, I guess, the viewer questions because we still got a number of them.
I'm gonna pull out a code and just throw it in the chat. How about that?
That works. Yeah, first person to redeem it gets it.
Okay.
And then how about at the end we'll do like one more for like a trivia question or something.
Yeah, go ahead. So go ahead and ask me a question, and I'll.
Oh wait, well let's just give out the code. Just throw it to throw it to the sharks and see who gets it first.
Hold on, I gotta pull it up because I'm on this other. Oops, Yine sauce vine.
Yeah, throw it to the rats.
Rats will eat their own.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I'm sure you had the rat analogy before this movie came out, but then they had the rat analogy in Skyfall.
Yeah, they did, and well, there was also the rat at the end of what's the Scorsese movie that won Best Picture?
Shutter Island?
No. After that, right after that, the one based on the Chinese. I can hear myself now.
No, not coming to mind.
Not Unforgiven.
Okay, so Sukor in chat got it. So congratulations, Sukor.
Come on, guys. Chad, what's the Scorsese movie with DiCaprio and Matt Damon? The Departed. Thank you. Yeah, the rat at the end of The Departed.
Oh, it's a shame it wasn't a non. I was gonna say if it was an actual name, I could message them with a key or something. But yeah, The Departed. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah. So questions. Go ahead.
All right. Hang on. There's. All right. Forget about it. Oh, Sukor. You better actually play it because I gave away 3 closed beta copies of Spy Party, and as far as I could tell, I don't think anyone played it. Any of the 3 people that I gave it to.
Oh, dude, if you guys aren't playing Monaco, you're idiots. I mean, I'm gonna say that straight up. You're fucking idiots.
You're morons.
If you get one of these keys and you don't play, you're a fucking moron.
Yep. Okay, so next question. Jack Baxter asks, what is the most difficult thing to teach new players? Like something that had to be revisited the most that kept going over their heads?
Phil Fish mode. I love that. Dr. Wizard just called me Phil Fish mode. Mega aggro.
Should be charging $100 for Monaco, you fucking ingrates.
Fuck you, you nerds.
Yeah.
What's the most difficult thing to teach players?
Yeah, like something that, like, no matter how you designed it.
Every thing in Monaco at some point confused, and at some point will still confuse some players. It is not a game for people that are not willing to be confused at first and then figure it out and then move on to the next thing that will slightly confuse them. And I don't think there's any. The only things that are sort of deal breakers are the stuff at the very beginning, like visibility and like windows. When early on, people didn't understand that you could see through windows, but you couldn't walk through them. So we had to add it so that when you pushed against a window, it showed up with a little Ghostbusters cross symbol.
Right.
And once we added that, that really helped teach players. But there is tons of symbology that you just kind of. The whole point is like there's no buttons in Monaco. You just push into things. So what we hope is that people just play it and then all you have to do is push against it, and then you push against it and you figure out what it does, and then you move on to the next thing. So the whole first campaign of Monaco is all about learning Monaco, and then the whole second campaign of Monaco is all about playing Monaco.
About mastery.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny. Have you heard of the game Tower Climb?
No. Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Tower Climbs kind of has that same philosophy where Chapter 1, which is all that's available right now, is totally about tutorial, and then Chapter 2 is going to test your mastery of those things. So I guess Monaco's in that same boat. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so then this one I think was asked by a couple people. I'm actually going to combine 2 questions. Killjoy says, why Monte Carlo and Monaco? And then another person said, was the game's title chosen because the actual country known as Monaco's association with wealth and gambling, or was it named Monaco for some other reason?
Yeah, it is definitely was named Monaco for its association with wealth, especially with Americans, because Americans, if you think about any city in the world, if you think about LA, there's like 20 different connotations. You think about traffic, you think about Compton, you think about Hollywood, you think about the beach. So those are all such different things. And so you when you make a game like San Andreas, you kind of incorporate all of those and try and find some common thread that runs through the whole thing.
Hmm.
And there's very few cities where you can sort of just find one single thread. And The Wire is a really good example of a portrayal of Baltimore that has a single thread. But there's actually a number of threads that run through The Wire, right? The docks and the Polish community, and of course the drug dealers and the cops and all that. But like Vice City actually is much more of like a sort of one note type of thing. And Monaco, the perception of Monaco in the head and the imaginations of Americans is basically excess, right? You don't have
Right.
to feel bad about stealing from these people.
Because they have more than enough of
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. And so Monte Carlo was actually originally just that was Monaco, but when I put Monaco on pre-order, one of the pre-order bonuses was the original IGF prototype, and I wanted to give it a new name so that people could, when people would refer to it, they could refer to it as something specific, and people wouldn't get it confused with the game that was eventually going to come out, a few months after the pre-order went on sale. So I renamed that old IGF prototype Monte Carlo.
Hmm.
Uh, which is Monte Carlo, of course, is the city. Monaco is tiny; it's 35,000 people, and it's basically just a city, the city of Monaco or Monte Carlo.
Right.
Uh, so.
Cool. Great answer. So Gambit asks, I think it was a one-word question. Wii U?
No, no Wii U. I don't think I think it's a really neat platform. It will be a really neat platform for Monaco, but I doubt it's going to happen at this point. It's just
Yeah. And honestly, I don't see, I guess the controllers, I mean, sorry, the console's architecture being like very beneficial to what Monaco has to offer. I mean, if for certain games like Spy Party, it would be awesome.
Well, I
It'd be
think it would be
perfect.
neat because you could play two-player local, but you'd have different screens, so it
Right.
wouldn't
You
have.
wouldn't need to stretch it out, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
I
true.
actually think that would be really neat, and I've always wanted to have a cops and robbers mode, so it would be fun to do it that way.
Oh, yeah.
But I
That'd be
think it's
excellent.
much more likely that after we finish Mac and maybe Linux, I don't. I'd really like to do a Vita PS4 crossplay port.
Oh, cool.
That's of course a long ways off, but I would really. I think it'd be so fun on the Vita, and then putting having it on PS4 as well, so you could play between the two would be so much fun.
Yep, that'd be awesome. All right. Okay. Tentacle Time. He asks, will there be more to add to the level editor to splurge on creativity, such as bear guards, futuristic robots, the works?
Ah, well, we're not doing any sort of official support for modding, although there's definitely been some modding of the game, which is great.
Hmm.
There are definitely features in the game that we didn't use in the campaigns, and those will be accessible in the level editor. So you'll be able to do everything we did in the campaigns plus more with the level editor. So,
Cool.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Zuriris asks, and kind of on a related note, will the level editor feature AI pathing behavior control? And will it support the ability to upload custom art? Which I guess you just answered. Not too
You
much modding support, but.
you can make custom art. You have to replace the textures in the game, and so people could do that. But
Hmm.
we're not doing any sort of official support for texture packs that you swap out in the game itself.
Right.
As for pathing support, it is in there. In fact, there are some levels that actually use a small amount of it, but we don't use it too much because we actually prefer the idea that Monaco occasionally feels like a puzzle game, but we want the core game to feel much more of a game about improvisation rather than figuring out the very specific solution to individual puzzles. We want it to be much more about like figuring out your own solution to sort of dynamic puzzles rather than authored puzzles, if you know what
Hmm.
I mean.
Yeah, very good. Let's see. Okay, and then one more from the community. This is from Carlo. He actually asked this in chat earlier. But are you going to make new classes in the future for like free DLC or whatever?
I would love to do the cops and robbers mode was basically just that we were adding a class that, gosh, I don't know how much, if I want to spoil this or not. I'll just spoil it because it's such a neat idea and I don't know for sure if we'll do it.
Okay.
But there's a character called Inspector Voltaire that is the interrogator of the pickpockets story.
Hmm.
And we even prototyped all this out, and we cut it at the last minute because it was like we didn't feel like it was quite balanced. But Inspector Voltaire was going to be an extra character in the cops and robbers mode that you could play either as the cop or as an inside man. So he was going to be capable of shooting the other thieves and tracking them down. He was not allowed to see the other thieves, but
Wow.
none of the AI were ever going to react to him, and he wasn't going to be able to pick up coins himself. So he was going to be able to go around and essentially scout, open doors,
That
that
sounds
kind of thing.
amazing.
But then you could play him as a competitive character too, because he was going to be able to track down and shoot the thieves. So you could choose whether or not to play him as like the bad guy or the good guy. Yeah, I think it would be a really neat thing, but it required just a little too much on us at the last minute. So one day, maybe Inspector Voltaire will make his appearance.
That'd be awesome. All right, well, that just about wraps up all the questions
All
and
right,
really all the discussion.
cool, man.
So, I mean, in the future, you're welcome back anytime. I know we had Edmund twice. We're going to have Chris a second time after Spy Party Open Beta. We'd be glad to have you back maybe as a checkup, after Monaco's had some time to sink into people.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Thanks to all the guys in the chat for watching, and I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you go out and check out Monaco.
Yeah, I mean, would you be interested in maybe just sometime in the future, a four-player session, maybe the two Andys and then
For
me
sure.
and Vinny, who is
For
the
sure.
fine sauce?
Anytime. Yeah, well, let's make it weekly.
There you go. So,
All right,
I mean, if that's about it, I look forward to talking with you again, and thanks for coming to the stream.
yeah, thanks, KY.
Let's give away one more key. Let's do that real
Sure.
quick.
Good call.
Yep.
Hold on. Pull it up.
Oh, it'll be incoming numbers his birthday in 3 minutes, so he says he wants it as a birthday gift. But that's up to
Who?
you.
Who is it?
His name is incoming numbers 5643 if you want.
Is it possible to private message him?
Yeah, if you just click on his name.
I'll give him one, but then this one's going to the Wolves.
Okay.
Go ahead, Wolves.
So that's for everyone. That's whoever gets it. Feed it to the
And
rats.
then feed it to the rats. Wait, what's this guy's name again?
Incoming numbers 5643.
There he is.
Yeah, just click on his name,
Uh,
message him through
yeah.
Chatango.
Ah, shit, I gotta log in.
Or if you give it to me, I can just give it to him.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. That
Okay.
sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. Well, again, thanks again. It was a pleasure. 2 hours goes quick when we're
Yeah,
having
sure
good.
does. When we're having technical problems. All right, man. I will. Hopefully, I'll be back on soon, and it was a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. Go play Monaco. Buy it from our site if you'd like, or from Steam. It doesn't matter to me one way or another. MonacosMine.com is our site, and follow us on Twitter at MonacosMine, and mine my Twitter is Andy Schatz, which maybe KY can post here. So.
Yeah. I'll link it in chat for everyone. They'll all follow you, and it'll be fun.
Cool. Alrighty. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks, Andy.
Yep. Bye.
So there you have it. Monaco. Amazing game. Great developer. It was a total pleasure to have him. He's a very, very pleasant dude to talk to. And hopefully we'll get him back on stream again. We'll do Andy, me, and Vinny for some 4-player just for fun. So if that's it, I guess that's it. Have a great night, everyone. And hopefully I'll see you in Monaco.